All right, so you've gotten this large sum of money and you're curious, who are you going to give it to? What organizations do you want to support? Many of you may have a church you're a member of or some organizations you've been supporting for years, but in addition to that, maybe you have some new ones you'd like to support that you've been wanting to support and you haven't. Or maybe you haven't been supporting organizations for years and this large sum of money you've received has been very out of characteristic for your past. So we want to talk about the importance of charitable giving to start with, and really we turn to the Bible. So the Bible talks about giving in Proverbs 19:17. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they've done. So we look at that. There's other verses in James that talks about widows and orphans and going and helping them in their time of need. And then, of course, there's a famous verse where Jesus was teaching in Luke 6, verse 38. He says, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." So there they're talking about if you give, it will be given unto you. And we have to be very careful there. We don't want to tiptoe into the area of prosperity theology, where you'll see some of these prosperity preachers that say, send me the money in and God's going to bless you. You can't get blessed until you give the money. So this is a scriptural principle, but we're not giving to get. We're giving out of our love for God and our love for people. So it's important to give because God is telling us that's what we should do. It's to help us, it's to protect our hearts, it's to give us a heart of humility and selflessness towards Him. So it's very important to give. But you want to identify your goals. Do you want to do Christian education, aiding the poor, spreading the gospel, widows, orphans? What type of organization you want to give to. You want to research it. You want to make sure that this organization has a history and a current fiscal policy where most of the money is going to the people in need. And that's very important. You want to also check for financial transparency. You want to look at the level of transparency this particular organization offers. How willing are they to offer you their financial reports, their annual or quarterly financial reports? That's important. Then, of course, you always want to pray. In everything we want to pray. So God certainly talks about that. I think if you do those things, you'll be able to come up with a good place to give some or maybe even all of your money.